It's a very bright sunny evening day on our poultry farm, and it's actually been a very hot week. Like for the past 2 weeks, the sun has been really hot. This is what we didn't see coming this time. We are in the late days of November, which normally we should be expecting a little bit of rain, but unfortunately here we are with strong sunshine, and a lot of crops in the garden are drying up. Like all the maize, all the soybean is just drying up. There is no rain. So that's another story for another day. But the story today is on the birds. These are our Isa brown birds in their last days of week 15. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you tips of how you can raise your birds very well. Like from day one, when it comes to the mortalities, up to the day of actually receiving an egg. Keeping these birds, normally people think that starts from day one, and then if they reach a point whereby they can lay, that's when you stop giving them attention. But I'm telling you that that is not the way it should be. The struggle starts from day one, and it ends on the day that you are selling off your birds as of layers. So my name is Jacob. I'm a poultry farmer here in Lamu district in the country of Uganda. Actually, I'm in the extreme north of the country, bordering southern Sudan. So we are like something like less than 10 kilometers from the border of southern Sudan. So like I was saying, guys, if you do want to keep your birds from day one up to the last day of you keeping your birds on your poultry farm perfectly without any problem, then this video is for you. So first of all, you can take a look at our birds. These birds are 15 weeks and then 4 days, these birds that you are seeing. But if you try to look at them, they are now really grown up. Not that we are overfeeding them, no. But what we do here, there are actually a number of things which I do also want you to do on your poultry farm. Or if you do want to start a poultry farm, you should never forget them. So number one, with poultry farming, it starts with the breed of the birds that you bring into your poultry farm. So this is number one. If you bring poor quality breeds into your poultry farm, no matter how much you give them the feeds, like the quality feeds in this world you give to the birds, there is no way the birds are going to put up the weight the way you're seeing them over here, because they're actually poor quality breed of birds. So if you do want to start a poultry farm, I know it's a little bit expensive for most of the farmers who are just still starting out for the first time, but I would recommend that if possible, you get little number of birds into your poultry farm, but of good quality. That way also, the results on the farm will be amazing. So that's number one. Number two is on the structure, which most poultry farmers really ignore. You can take a look at my structure. You see, I'm talking about the ventilation most especially. You guys can see over here that the ventilation is just perfect, not only on one side, but on two sides. You see? So as I spoke earlier on, that the sunshine is too much and the weather is so hot, that one definitely means that this house is also going to be very hot. But with this ventilation over here, it is actually pushing air out of the house, and then it is just staying very cold, much as not very hot, the way it is supposed to be. but it is now good for the birds. But if, let's say, you have constructed your house in a way that the ventilation is not enough, then definitely the birds are going to have a hard time in the house. The birds are not going to eat the way they are supposed to be eating because the heat is too much. And what they are going to do is that they are going to be drinking a lot of water than the feeds that they are eating. So that's also with the housing. Come to the poultry feeds. I would laugh when I reach here because, to be honest, this is one of the biggest challenges that I've faced in this business is about the poultry feeds. There are a lot of poultry feeds in the market, depending on the formula which you want. As I speak right now, I am using a concentrate, a Hendrix concentrate. I think I have a sack over here. Let me first try to show you. There is a sack here from Hendrix, but I don't think if this is a concentrate. Let's try to see. Let's try to flip it around. So this is broiler concentrates, 25%. This is what we have been using when the birds were still young. But as I speak right now, we are now shifted to the layer concentrate, because with the broiler concentrate, as you can see over here, this is broiler concentrate, but I'm keeping layers. So why do we do that? With the broiler concentrate, the percentage in it is actually 22%. But when you are to get the layer concentrate, it is at 18%. And remember, at that stage, or when the birds are still young, we do want to make them grow very fast. And we normally do that from week 1 up to week 7. That's when we are actually giving them the broiler concentrate non-stop. And then from there, that's when we changed to the layer concentrate, which I am using up to now. So what I was trying to say is that feeds has actually been one of the biggest challenges that I've faced, much as I've not yet fully faced it, but it is one of the challenges that I wouldn't forget. And the reason is that we would have gotten cheap feeds for our birds. We would have gotten them, and then this crying would have not been there. But what we did is that we wanted to give our birds the quality feeds. That's why you are seeing them very big, like very healthy, like in a good shape. That's because of the feeds that we have been giving them. I mean, we didn't think about the price so much as it was cutting us down so much, like it was holding our necks so tight. But what we looked up was the performance of the birds. Let me first try to tell you something. This is most especially with all of the birds, like the broilers and then the layers. You may find a poultry farmer spending, let me make it easy. You may find a poultry farmer who is keeping broilers spending less money on the feeds, but keeping the birds for 2 months in the farm. And then you will find another poultry farmer spending more money on the feeds, but again keeping the birds less than a month. So if you don't do the calculations very well, instead of you thinking that you are saving money on the feeds, you would definitely be spending more money than the person who is buying the expensive feeds. And then another thing is on the water. Normally, when we are buying these birds, there is a schedule which these guys give to us. Like, how should I call it? There is a way how you have to raise these birds, like from day 1 up to the last day, like from the feeds, like from the vaccination, even with the water. We give the water non-stop. We don't want to starve these birds. So we don't minimize on the size of water that we have to give to these birds. We just give them more than enough, more than the recommended one. That's why I think the birds are just like this. And then another thing is the vaccination. Make sure that you do vaccinate your birds against all the vaccination schedule given to you. And then, of course, the biosecurity, which I've talked over and over again in most of my videos. So if you do that on your poultry farm, I tell you, you are not going to find it difficult for you to keep these birds. Normally, people like to say that poultry farming is very risky. But I want to tell you that if you know what you are doing in poultry farming, there is no risk. I think this is not only applicable to poultry farming, like anything. If you are if you have never done building and then you go for the first time without even holding a plumb bob, without holding, what is it called? That thing that those guys use to put the cement with. You have never hold it, but you want it to look very easy for you. Of course, it won't. But if you know exactly what you're doing, if you first learn what you want to do, like thoroughly, then definitely there is nothing going to defeat you. So, like always, don't forget to subscribe. See you.